Hey folks, this is Dr. Brian King. I'm here on the road in Dallas, Texas, and I'm sitting down with a friend of mine, comedian by the name of An Nguyen. I hope I said that right.
An Nguyen.
An Nguyen. See, I want to say An for some reason. I'm sorry.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Blues, women, and blues. I'm here, I'm there, I'm
Welcome to
everywhere.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Welcome to my dining room. And I know we met in comedy, but you don't identify as a comedian. Is that?
No, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm kind of a comedian, but I just don't like to put myself in a box. Like
Yeah.
Because it just becomes very shallow, and you make that your whole identity, and it's rooted in attachment. So.
I know a lot of comedians that actually that's all they have going for them. So it's like, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, it's better than identifying as an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also have done some modeling.
Yeah, that was like a phase where I did like boudoir modeling.
Yeah, so you don't identify as a model.
No.
So what else do you do that you might identify as?
Well, I'm also a nail tech and a makeup artist.
So how long were you doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for about 4 years.
Yeah, how'd you get started in that?
I just went to an open mic at this place called BBC.
BBC?
Yeah.
What's that?
In Uptown. It's a British beverage company.
When I think of BBC, there's a whole different meaning to that acronym.
Yeah, so that was my first open mic there, and it was when Gretchen was running at the time. She's very kind, so she just told me, hey, come back, I have other mics here and there, and that's just how I got started.
Did you sort of catch the comedy bug and just start doing it all the time, or?
Yeah, I would say I was much more passionate about it in my first year.
Yeah. I met you during the pandemic. I guess that was maybe a year deep or so into your comedy career.
Yeah.
I know a lot of comedians who decided to quit or retire from comedy in the pandemic, and then there are people like me where I was so craving.
We did Zoom shows.
Yeah, that's true. I never did any of those.
I did those.
Oh man, you're still out there kicking it.
I mean, it comes and goes in waves.
Yeah.
You know, I have periods where I don't even go out at all, and I just hibernate. And then I come back out a few months later.
Gotcha. Comedy is our common thread. I think that's the thing that binds us. It's how we met. But that's not the only thing we have in common, and I really wanted to talk about the life changes that you've made recently. And when I say that, I'm being super vague, so let me get very specific. You've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And I have.
Jacket.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, show it
Like
off,
so.
man. You might. Look at this. Now you've lost a lot of weight.
It's like loose skin. I just have compressed into the top.
I know loose skin can be an issue, but you've lost a lot of weight, and of course my followers, people that watch me, people that pay attention, they'll know that I've always struggled with my weight. But in the past 5 years or so, I've been actively trying to lose it, and I have lost about 100 pounds. I still have a lot to go.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. I say my issue is that I got to 100 pounds, and then I just couldn't seem to convince myself to keep losing. You know what I mean? Like once I saw, I lost 100 pounds, I spent too many times going up and down. Like 10 pounds, I gain 10 pounds, lose them, gain them, lose them, gain them, lose them.
Yeah.
It's been tough, but how
And
much?
that's so like normal for everybody.
It is.
It's like, oh, you just lose weight and you're perfect, and you just never, regain it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then people try to shame.
In my situation, I wrote a book because I have a publishing deal, and I wrote a book about weight loss and my experiences losing weight, thinking that if I write a book about losing weight, it'll force me to lose more weight. And then the opposite happened, actually. A book came out, and I was like, hey, my book's out. And I went on a tour, and I ate everything that I could find. And, it's just, it's a struggle. It continues to be a struggle. But how much have you lost?
I've lost like 75 pounds.
Wow, that's an impressive
Yeah.
amount. Yeah. How did you do it, just if you don't mind?
Oh, I got surgery. I got gastric sleeve surgery.
Okay.
Because I was very much like you, trying to lose weight and very up and down, and I tried everything. I took the pills. I took phentermine. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah.
It's like 3 protons away from being meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I've taken
Yeah.
phentermine.
Yeah.
I actually really have a positive response to phentermine.
Yeah.
It knocks out my appetite completely. And I find that whenever I take phentermine, I only eat if it's out of habit.
Yeah,
You know,
but then when you don't take it for a day or 2
Oh, you're
days,
eating
it's
everything.
like, you eat everything.
Yeah.
And it like, even if you don't eat, it's like
Yeah.
you still can't lose the weight. You're very dependent on it.
it's rough. And then, of course, there's hormonal things that happen because your body, once you gain weight, your body goes through some changes, which it wants to hold on to the weight. And so it makes it difficult. And you develop conditions like sleep apnea and inflammation and things like that just make it hard to exercise or hard to, it's a tough cycle. So you were done with all that and you went for the surgery.
Yeah.
How was that?
So I had to like do a pre-surgery diet. So some people, they can only have liquids. I think if you're bigger, like way bigger, you can only have liquids. But I just ate like protein and vegetables for my pre-op diet, and then I flew to San Diego, and then they picked me up from Tijuana, the hospital.
Oh, you had you went to Mexico for your surgery.
I went to
Oh man.
Mexico.
Oh, I'm surprised you're here.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. There was a lot of white people there in the hospital.
Yeah, the presence of white people doesn't validate.
Yes, it does. Well, to me, an immigrant, it does. I'm like, okay, this place is credible. If there's a lot of white people there.
This is a credible podcast because the host is white. No. But it was cheaper. You saved money on the cost,
Oh, it
right?
was. Yes.
Yeah, and
You got paid cash?
yeah, and obviously it worked out well, so that's
Yeah.
cool. Did you stay around for like a donkey show or something?
No. I was there. I stayed there the first night, no surgery. We got to have like our last meal. And then the next day I went there, and it was horrible because before surgery you can't like eat or you can't even drink water. So
Yeah.
I was actually the smallest one getting surgery, like
There was
the
like a
lowest
whole group
risk.
of you?
Yeah, there was
Oh,
a whole
wow.
group. So I got in the car in San Diego at the airport. There was like a group of like a bunch of fat people. Just
No way.
Just like a fat bus.
No way! Like you
Yeah.
all met? It was organized kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a fat tour.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, the
Gastric-
fat people. Yeah.
Where was your last meal?
My last meal was bacon wrapped chicken.
Oh man!
Bacon wrapped chicken stuffed with cream cheese.
If you're
You
gonna
know
go
our
out,
fatties love our cheese.
no.
So-
If you're gonna go out, you gotta go out with a bang, man.
Yeah.
I remember when when I was a vegetarian in college, and I made a conscious decision. I was like, I'm going to become a vegetarian, and my last meal of meat before becoming a vegetarian was like this big all-you-can-eat barbecue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just like getting all the meat, everything, And that lasted for like a year. I lost 80 pounds and then gained them back as soon as I started eating meat again.
Oh my God.
This is kind of interesting to me. So did you go with a friend or anything? Or?
My mom went with me.
Okay, so your mom went with you,
Yeah.
and you were it was organized like a tour. You met up with other people who were also getting surgery.
Yeah,
right?
well, it was the hospital that has the transportation arranged for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was people that were getting surgery the same day as me.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's wild. The surgery was obviously a success, no complications or anything like that. But
Well, I had a hernia.
oh yeah,
Yeah, because when I was fat, I was wearing like waist trainers all the time, so it like fucked up my organs and gave me a hernia.
wait. So you were wearing like you were compressing.
Yeah, I was like compressing my fat so much.
Oh man.
So during the surgery, they like found my hernia and they just repaired it for me.
Wow, well that was nice of them. That's yeah. So you got extra benefits. So
Yeah.
it's a sleeve, you said, gastric
Yeah.
sleeve. So that basically just is restricting the capacity of your stomach, right?
Yeah, it's like a laparoscopic surgery,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not that invasive. They don't cut your stomach open. It's like they do it with lasers or something,
Oh,
but
okay.
they remove like 80% of
In
your
and out,
stomach.
basically. Oh, 80%. So 80% of your stomach currently is gone.
Well, it was. Now I probably have like 50% of my stomach.
All right, so you got some back, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And so obviously, with a diminished stomach capacity, you can't eat that much.
No.
That's ultimately the limitation.
Yeah.
It's funny because I always tell people, and I say this in my book, like, we all know how to lose weight. It's just you have to eat less and exercise more.
Yeah.
And some of us have a really hard time doing that, but you put this physical restraint on your body. Like
I basically put a muzzle. on my
like
stomach.
I physically cannot eat. So were you hungry a lot?
Not really. I didn't have food for a month, 30 days after my surgery.
Was that
Very hard.
Was that something that they said you should do, or was that?
Yeah, it was a post-op diet, so
Okay.
I could only have clear liquids for the first 10 days. 10 days after, have full liquids, and then after the 10 days after that, I can only have like puree, like mashed up bean or mashed up avocado or something.
And you didn't feel hungry from that, or
No, I was always throwing up.
I can imagine if you disrupt your stomach, it's probably not gonna do well with your appetite.
I tried to like drink wine, I remember,
Yeah.
and it like burned the shit out of my stomach.
I've heard people craving a lot but not having space for it.
Yeah.
So they would like, I'm just putting down as many Oreos as I can, but I can't put down as many Oreos as I want to.
Yeah.
But it does put that limitation on you. And how quickly did the weight start to come off?
Oh, probably in the first month I lost like 40 pounds.
Oh wow, 40
Yeah.
pounds in a month.
Yeah, probably
That's-
37.
Were you doing any exercise?
Yeah, I was exercising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was exercising, and I was just like being a hermit because I was so depressed. I couldn't eat the foods I wanted to. I couldn't drink anything really except for like water and protein shakes.
Yeah.
And I would like freeze the protein shakes. So it was like ice cream. I was turning creative with it.
That's kind of cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
The majority of my overeating is social, and I feel you. It's like when I'm restricting my intake, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to go out and have fun without consuming calories.
Yeah.
I mean,
You leave
even-
the house, you spend like $100.
Yeah. Either you're eating something which has calories or you're drinking something that has calories. It's like there is no celebration that involves like jogging. You know what I mean? It's like I want to get my friends together and just sit around and read books.
Right.
That's not a thing. We eat.
Right.
So yeah, I always found that to be super tough. In fact, I still do. That's one of my issues with the up and down is that I don't want to sit at home and be a hermit all the time.
Yeah.
I want to go out. How'd you ease back into society?
Well, I just started eating, like probably the last few days when I could eat like pureed foods, and I just went out, a little bit here and there, but I still didn't eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or I would like eat. I would try to eat like bad food sometimes because my friends, they would try to get like fast food, and I tried, and I'd be like, okay, let me go over here. I gotta throw up. But
Yeah.
it's like I was just throwing up all the time.
We have limited capacity in our stomach, right? And our brain wants to fill it with the most the most nutrition-rich food it can. There's a reason why we're very drawn to calorically dense foods as opposed to like lettuce. With a restricted capacity in your stomach, like you really can't waste time filling your stomach with lettuce.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to have some really some significant pushback from your body. Like you said, you get sick. But you said the same thing would happen though if you ate highly caloric foods, like the junk.
Yeah, if I just ate like something that was had too many carbs or like oil, I would throw up. I normally have to eat a protein first.
Interesting. I've heard from other people that they could only eat like highly caloric stuff. Like they would eat bread or they would eat.
That's bad. No.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm at
possible.
the point now where I can eat bread, but I just try to eat like if I'm gonna eat bread, I'm gonna eat like sprouted bread or like sourdough bread. If you're gonna eat carbs, you might as well get the best of the best.
Right. So I think that it's really cool because you're presenting to me something that's different and contradicts what I've heard before,
Really?
which gives me a better view of gastric surgery.
I'm very lucky that I met my boyfriend shortly after I had the surgery, and he's like a health nut. So it's like, it just helps, right? Like you have to surround yourself with supportive people and healthy influences. So that's helped me a lot too.
You mean like he eats healthy, or does he exercise, or is a
He
gym
just-
rat?
He eats very healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna sound like a yuppie, but like, you know, organic stuff, sprouted beans, sprouted rice. It makes it easier for you to digest, and clean water, you know, those things are important. Yeah.
I like dirty water.
Oh, yeah. it's-
Did he meet you heavy or thin?
He met me when I only lost 50 pounds, so I've lost like 25 pounds.
Weight loss is controversial these days, and I don't know why. I don't get it.
Yeah, like people get mad if like pop stars,
Yeah.
fat pop stars.
Yeah, they got mad at
weight.
Adele. Remember that? Like,
Yeah.
everybody's like, you know, Adele is you know, what? Why? She just wants to be healthier. You know.
I know.
It's so bizarre, but it's.
I think Adele got gastric sleeve.
Yeah.
There's no way.
She went to Tijuana.
No way she lost that much weight in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I don't
trust
doubt it. So how's life been since you lost the weight?
Like in what regards?
In every regard. I mean, like let me tell you. So I still am substantially overweight. Like nobody looking at me is going to say, "Ooh, that guy, you know, has lost a lot of weight." They're still going to say, "Oh, that's a big fat guy over there." You know.
Yeah.
You lose 100 pounds, and I'm still pretty heavy. Is you know, I got a long ways to go. But even with that, I notice so many things are better about my life. I notice I have more energy. I sleep better at night. I'm not in pain. You know, it used to be uncomfortable. Just
I can
to, like,
relate to that. Yeah,
you know,
I have a lot of inflammation.
Yeah. You know, my comedy is better, not in the sense that my content is better, but I have more energy on stage. I'm more focused.
You know, like breathing heavy.
I
into
know.
the mic.
I never realized how much I was doing that.
How much you were mouth breathing.
You know,
I still do that when I drink. I'm like, oh shit,
Do
I
you?
gotta watch my breathing.
And also, I'm not just a comedian; I'm a public speaker, and my public speaking is so much better. Like it's just my voice is clearer. You know, it's like it's life changing. It really is. You know, and so I don't know anything particular that you've noticed.
Well, similar to you, I sleep better. I'm not in pain as much anymore. My skin has gotten better. I don't know. I don't know if I get more attention now when I go out, because I think even when I was bigger, I was still pretty attractive. But I think I do get more attention, and
Yeah. All right.
clothes fit me better. I don't know.
Life is better. I would argue. You know. And
I can walk through the aisle at movie theaters now.
We met in Dallas. We're here in Dallas now. Between when we met and now, you moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming your time in Vegas was it was after you had lost weight, right? Yeah, because it wasn't that long ago. How long were you in Vegas, first of all?
Probably like a year.
A whole year. How do you live in Vegas and not be busting your gut at the buffets every day?
Yeah,
or not, you know what I mean? Like
I didn't
seriously.
go to any buffets in Vegas.
Yeah.
No.
It must have been difficult, I would imagine. I don't know.
Kind of. No, not really.
No?
I just didn't want to get fat again, so I didn't.
I like the attitude, the desire to maintain.
Because
so
you
important.
always have to think, oh, you know, every time I tell someone I've gotten surgery, they'll say, well, some people, they're like, well, I know this person, they got the surgery, it didn't work for them. You know what I mean? So sometimes people are discouraging. You just always have to keep those haters in your mind.
Yeah.
And let that motivate you and not get fat.
So you use that like as a constant motivator, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe you have an urge, you know? I mean, do you counter it in a moment and say like, that's what the haters want me to do, you know?
The haters want me to eat
donuts.
donuts.
Haters want me to go in that Krispy Kreme, you know?
No, I just think, I don't want that. You know, I don't want that, or maybe because I haven't, I was eating a lot of sugar at the time, so it's like your body just stops craving it, or I try to like make up scenarios in my head to prevent me from wanting that. Like I can be like, oh, what if like their kitchen's dirty and their food's dirty and you don't want that? You can eat something at home where you cook it. You know, I try to like convince myself reasons why I shouldn't.
That's helpful. It really is. That's
Even though I'm
helpful.
sure the kitchen's not dirty or anything, but I try to tell myself that.
They're a business and they're not being shut down, so they're probably fine. But that's actually pretty helpful. My big motivator is my family. I have now I have a 7-year-old daughter, but she's almost 7, and you know, I want to be around to see her at 17. You know, like that's literally like you know, when I obviously have many lapses in my judgment, and I relapse all the time. But overall, like I try to keep that in mind, and it's not always easy, but some
You relapse like with food or with what?
Oh yeah, relapse with food all the time.
You meant drugs.
Yeah, no, relapse with food, man. Drugs, I got no problem with drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that drugs are easy for any addict to give up, but I do think at least you have that benefit that you don't need drugs. You know, you need food. You know, you have to eat food. Have you experienced any significant side effects?
Yeah, like I lost a lot of my hair.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know
lost
that.
probably like, I would say like 40% of my hair.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
Your hair is very full today. Is it
Really?
coming back, or is it gone?
It isn't as bad as it was 6 months after my surgery,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like if you touch my hair, you can like feel my scalp. I don't know. Whereas before, you could like feel more hair.
Anything else?
I don't know. I'm like constipated a lot. I don't know if that's TMI, but
No, these are.
I'm
good.
like always dehydrated. Like I can never drink enough water. You
Yeah.
know, you never have a water bottle. I can't like chug water.
It's that limited capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to like remember to keep drinking water.
Mhm.
And it's, I'm like dehydrated, constipated, bald.
All of those, I guess, are worth it, and it's, you know, for the other benefits, right?
Yeah.
In my book, which is chronicles sort of weight loss, and I talk about my own weight loss, and then I talk about the psychology behind weight loss. I also interviewed a lot of people about their weight loss stories, and I find it very inspirational to talk to other people who have lost weight, and it helps. I think it. When I wrote the book in particular, and I would interview these people, I would feel extra motivated after every interview. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to start interviewing people who have lost weight for my podcast. You know, my podcast has been sort of a mix of performers that I meet along the road, but you know, I don't know that I'm going to focus on weight loss, but I do like you sharing your story, so I really appreciate that. Maybe this will motivate some people. Maybe it'll inspire some people. I mean, I don't have a recommended approach to weight loss. I think whatever works, works. You know, it's each individual.
Yeah, and people love to judge you when you get surgery.
Yeah.
You know, they'll say it's easy. It was the easy.
No, I don't think there's
But
anything
it's
easy
not.
about it. It's like, you know, everything requires work.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's, you know, you still have to work to maintain your body and you had to work to lose your weight after the surgery. You didn't come out of the surgeon's office completely thin.
I didn't. No, I had to keep working on it.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy because last week when I went to a mic, 3 people did not recognize me.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And I was like, because to me, I still feel like I feel better, but I still feel the same. You know, I don't feel like my ego's gotten bigger. I don't feel like I'm like that much different, but for 3 people to not to be able to recognize me was crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Has weight loss affected your act? Do you talk about it?
My act? Yeah, I talk about it.
Yeah, what are some of the jokes that you talk about?
I don't want to say jokes on camera.
All right, fair enough. You're still saving them for the audiences.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I developed my personality as a overweight person. Like I've been overweight my whole life. And so I would say that the fact that I'm overweight has contributed to the development of my sense of humor. I know that you don't have to be fat to be funny. There's plenty of people that aren't, but for me, it's just kind of integral to who I am. So that's a difficult thing. But it sounds like you're doing great. Sounds like you're doing really good, and I'm really happy for you. 75 pounds, huh? Is that your done? Is that your goal weight?
I mean, I'd like to lose like 20 more, but it's gotten kind of hard. Cause like, you know, with weight loss, like when you've lost so much, your body kind of just plateaus. So I'm thinking about doing an extreme. Like I'm thinking about doing the diet I did after my surgery. I don't know, but that's not healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if you have a place you can hang out and be a hermit for a month.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I really appreciate you sharing with me and being on my podcast. Is there anything you'd like to promote to the people that might be watching or listening?
Sure. Yeah, you can just follow me on Instagram. It's ANSALCHEMY, Ann's Alchemy, and yeah, that's it.
Very cool. And you should follow her Instagram and scroll down so you can see like the before pictures.
Yeah. Well, I edited my pictures so much back then.
It's like a bunch of filters.
Yeah, I have a joke about how like I have lost 75 pounds, so now I look like my Instagram pictures.
Nice. Well, no, that's awesome, and thank you so much, Ann. I appreciate
Thanks
that.
for having me.
I really do. Folks, this has been another episode of On the Road with Dr. Brian. Thanks for listening, watching, wherever you are, and thanks for your continued interest and support. Thanks.
I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Blues, women, and blues. I'm here,